Like the reason I've sort of like planned today is like we spend most of our days sat down, okay? Let's be honest, like it's not very often that sort of daily tasks involve us going any lower than 90 degrees. That's why when Ash said, do we need chairs? I said no, because you can all sit on the floor. I don't know if you remember, I don't know if it happened to you. When I was in school, we used to, at a certain age, you sit on the floor, and then when you got to the higher level in school, they put you on chairs, and I think that's where it all went wrong, really, because like that sort of knackers your body. Like the older we get, like we do less, okay, to the point that we don't do anything at all. But then one day we decide to get fit, and you see this legend, and you reach out to him, that being me, okay, and then we introduce all these mad movements. And then your knee, your hip or your back goes, okay? And then it's like you've got the prognosis that you've got bad knees or you've got a bad back or something like that, okay? Like I say this all the time, like you are a lagging measure of what you do every single day. Like we don't have bad knees or a sore hip or a sore back. We've just sort of forgotten how to move correctly, okay? And I'm a firm believer that if you've walked 10 miles, you've got to walk 10 back. So if you've struggled for most of your life or moved a certain way, like it's going to take a little bit longer to get that back, okay? But as long as we're moving in that right direction, we'll only improve. A little bit of like history. I played for Wales. I just got to throw that in there. Played for Wales once. I played for Wales in the World Cup like years ago. I just thought I'd throw that in there as well. And I was actually in my worst shape. Like I couldn't get out of bed in the morning. Like I was nearly going to quit rugby. And it wasn't until I started improving my mobility that that all went. Like I'm like 35 now and playing better than ever. So it just goes to show like, and that's taken 10 years. So I've played in 10 years now. A lot of people are stopping playing rugby. So like I've created this training to sort of help you, like to sort of unlock your potential, like free you of any limitations and sort of provide you with a structure today. That's all I want to do is give you a structure. So when you go to the gym, or you do anything. So some of you may not be at the gym yet, but it's just like when you've been sat at home all day, you can do this on the sofa on the floor while your kids are climbing all over you. But it just sort of gives you a structure and gives you a little bit of confidence. So there's like 3 phases we're going to go through today. So we're going to mobilize you, okay? I like to think of this like as sort of defrosting you, okay? Like if you think you've all come here today and you're frozen because Ash's gym is freezing, no. No, you're only joking. No, you're frozen. All your muscle, get out. All your muscles are like frozen. They're just not used to being moved. Okay, so we're gonna like defrost those muscles and sort of make movements a little bit more comfortable. Then we're gonna functionalize. So that's the second phase. So we're gonna wake up the muscles that aren't working. So a lot of us will like try to squat and we actually can't do it because we don't know how to do it. So we're almost gonna like educate you how to do that. And remind them of their purpose. And then the final thing is strengthen, okay? Like we're gonna condition the muscles to do the job, okay, that they're meant to do so that in the long run you can get fitter and get stronger and keep doing it, okay? Round of applause, yes. So yeah, they're the 3 phases. We're gonna mobilize you, we're gonna functionalize you, and we're gonna strengthen you. And when you go into your training, that's the way I structure your plans anyway, but that's how I want you to think of this, so that we can get you to the point where you can just squat. Like if you move better, you're gonna feel better. If you feel better, you're gonna perform better. And if you perform better, you're gonna get results, okay? You should just be able to get out of bed and move, okay? So that's why we're sort of doing this today. What we're gonna do first is, we're gonna mobilize you, okay? So the purpose of this is to like unlock the joint, okay? And we want to allow the muscles to move how they should and sort of create freedom of movement. Like your hips are, someone's not on the ball. Your hips are responsible for 60% of movement around the body, 60%, okay? So if we take away a little bit of movement from your hips, that's got to come from somewhere. And the chair has taken a lot of that away, okay? And this carries over into other areas. And this is why, like, if you haven't got 60% of movement around your hips, it can affect your knees, your spine, even your shoulders, okay? So we're gonna do like a 3-part movement to this part of the session, which is we're gonna test. So we're gonna do a test. We're gonna loosen off the joint and then we're gonna retest, okay? And you're gonna see like instant changes in your hip mobility. So the test, I'll show you. You're all gonna do it, okay? Get your sort of measure. And then we're going to come back, we'll loosen you off. I'll show you how we're going to loosen you off, and then we're going to retest, okay? So the test is really simple. You're going to get a space, and you're going to lie on your back. You're going to have your legs straight, and you're going to put like this ankle on your knee, okay? So you relax like this. And what we're going to do is measure the distance of your knee from the floor in hands, okay? So, yeah, there we go. So someone give Ash a hand. So you can see my hips are pretty tight. So we're going to do, you're going to measure, just get a mental brain dump of like where you're at. You're going to measure the distance, do both sides. You'll probably find, so you can see already with mine, there's quite a big difference between the both. Okay, just get a mental test, do that quick, and then we're going to come back. We're going to show you how to loosen off, and then we're going to go again. So, okay, cool. Right, I'm going to show you how to loosen it off. So, what we're going to do, if you can stay sat down actually, as long as you can all see me. We're going to get the ball, okay, and on your butt there's like a spongy bit, okay. This is called like a spongy bit. So if you try and find like a hip bone, okay, and go in a little bit. Okay, it's like your butt cheek, okay? That's a muscle called your piriformis. What we're going to try and do is hit that spot, okay? So I'm going to show you how you're going to do it on the floor. So what we're going to do is you're going to bend one knee, okay? This is where we're going to have a lot of screams. You're going to put one foot on one knee, okay? The side you're going to loosen. And what you're going to do is you're going to get the ball in that point, okay? And you're going to try relax. And what we're trying to do is massage that area. You're going to try work it around. We're just going to do one side, okay? I want you to really like find an uncomfortable spot, okay? And like hammer that. So if you imagine doing this now, we're defrosting that tight area, and you're going to keep working at it, okay? We're then going to shake it off, and you're going to retest, okay? So just do, before you loosen off, do a quick test, have a look at where you are, loosen it off, okay? And then do a retest. So straighten your leg out, do a retest, and you'll notice that it will go down, okay? And we're just going to loosen off the one side. So do a quick retest on one side, massage that area with a ball for 60 to like 2 minutes, 60 seconds to 2 minutes. So get that brain dump. Find an uncomfortable spot in your butt. This is going to be a pain in the butt. You want to be at the point where, like, you see I'm tilted to the side a little bit. Like, we want to be on the side of our butt cheek, not like sat on it. Next, we're going to go into like functionalizing. Okay, so what we're going to do here is like try wake up the muscles that we've loosened off. So what we've done now is loosened off your hips, okay, and they're tighter because because they're tight, your muscles will almost forget how to. It's like, imagine the first time you got in a car and you're like, whoa, what am I doing here? It's what your muscles are like now. They've got this new range and they don't know what to do with it. So now we've loosened them off. We want to sort of educate them on how to do the job. Now, a lot of this is going to be samey. Like some of you who've been with me a while or with me now, you've seen these before, but we're going to break down how to do them correctly, okay? We're going to do 2 exercises. The first one, who loves Spider-Mans? Okay. The amount of times I'll give you these, and it's like I'm looking at Tony. Have you been doing the Spider-Mans, Tony? Yeah. Okay. So he's like, yeah. He said, "What Spider-Man?" So Spider-Mans. The reason Spider-Mans are so good. Like how many people can just sit and drop in a squat? Like you can't. And this is what Spider-Mans. They do it in a safe way. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to do it, what we're searching for, and then how to regress it if you're not quite there yet, because it's a really hard exercise to do. So we're going to break down like how you can do it and build up to that. So a Spider-Man, like there's a few ways you can do it. I'll show you the start version. So the goal is to get our foot to a hand and try get your elbow to the floor. Okay, and I know a lot of you are like, what the hell? Okay, foot there, elbow to the floor. You should be able to get into that position, ideally, because if you think about it, that position is a squat, okay? So we should be able to get into that position, but we struggle. So the first thing you can do, if you struggle to get in that position, is reverse engineer it. So let's just step back, okay? Get on one knee, put your hand down, okay? And then start like that, okay? And then stand up, and reverse engineer it. Foot down, hand down, stand up, okay? If you struggle to do that, grab a bench. Do the same movement on the bench. I haven't got a bench. Where have I got a bench? Let's start here, okay? Hand there, and put your hand down, okay? Just find a floor higher up. So if you're at home, use a sofa, use a bench, but find your start point. The end goal is to get you to the point where you can literally hold yourself like that. Every time I do that, my spine cracks because I'm opening up that area. But the idea is to teach your muscles to safely get into a range, because if I was to ask a lot of you just to get into that position, like it'll probably hurt your knees, your back, and then we add load and we hurt yourself. So we want to get you really comfortable, just able to get into that position. And that's going to educate your hips that we've loosened off to do the job they're meant to be doing. So now we've almost like got the hips moving at a range they need to be moving for us to get a lot out of the exercise. We're going to wake the glutes up. Okay, so many people are like, I want to tone my butt up. Do you know what I mean? Can't tone your butt up if it doesn't work. Do you know what I mean? And like we've loosened it off, we've got it moving, so now you can tone your butt up. But also we can stop you getting injured. You can lift more. You can get stronger. You can perform better. And what we're going to do, I'll show you, and then you're going to copy. Okay, so you're going to put the resistance band below your knees. Okay, so you're going to have it at your hips, mid-shin. Sorry. And what we're going to focus on is like being on like the outside of our feet, okay? Can you see how I'm like corkscrewing my knees out? So like if you imagine your hip can do this movement, okay? We're doing that with the resistance band. And what we're gonna try and do is keep the same distance between the resistance band. So you're gonna look like a bit of an idiot, but there's gonna be 20 idiots in here doing this, so it's all right, okay? So what we're gonna do is we'll just do like 5 steps, okay? And what you're trying to do is keep your knees corkscrewed, okay? So if you stand there now and corkscrew your knees out, who can feel their butt working? The moment you do that, yeah? Can you feel that? That's what we're trying to keep, and then we're moving side to side, and you're gonna try keep everything the same, okay? And you'll start to feel your glutes firing, okay? So we're just gonna do 5 steps, and then 5 the other way. So put the band around your knees. So what you'll notice is, same with you, James, you'll notice as you do it, your feet are going to start to bow out. Stop that. Focus from the knees, okay? Focus on moving. So keep your feet straight, James. That's it. You'll notice you'll go into this habit of just moving with your feet. What we're going to do now is like get you stronger in that position, okay? Like to get good at something, you have to do it. Like, let's be honest, okay? And we just need to find your standard, which we're going to do today, and we're going to stick at it. So there's going to be 3 standards to the squat, okay? There's a bodyweight squat, a goblet squat, and a barbell squat. So I'm going to go through each one of them. We're going to find what you feel comfortable with and just focus on that, okay? So the 3 standards, okay, you can start every standard with like elevating your heels. Like the first thing with a squat, if I was to ask you to squat, a lot of you are probably scared of falling back, okay? So we can take that thinking out of the equation just by elevating your heels, okay? So Ash has got these wedges, which is really good. Or you can just get a plate and just elevate your heels. So if there's plates in the gym, you can elevate your heels. Just find a way of elevating your heels just to take the edge off, okay? It's mainly for a confidence thing. And then over time, we can sort of veer away, okay? So it just takes the thinking out of it. So there's 3 stages to the squat. We're going to do a bodyweight squat, which is literally squatting down. Or the next level is a goblet squat. So you can find a weight. You can do the same movement, okay? Or we can just go into a barbell, okay? So I'll show you just for the sake of it. So bar on your shoulders, same movement, right the way down and back up, okay? So they're going to be the 3 standards of the squat, okay? And straight away you already know what you're going to do, okay? So we're all going to do, for argument's sake, just a bodyweight squat now, okay? And then we'll have a little play around with what you would feel comfortable trying out. Like Ash has got all these bars, he's got plenty of weights, and he's got wedges, so we can have a play around with what you feel comfortable doing. So the bodyweight squat, okay, there's 3 things I want you to focus on. And we want to focus on grooving that movement. So the first is our feet. So if you get your feet shoulder width apart, and I want you to focus on your big toe, your little toe, and your heel, okay? So when you squat, all them must be in contact with the floor from the top to the bottom. If you find that your weight's going forward or you feel like you're going back, that's something we really need to focus on. So let's all try do a squat now. Go as comfortable as you feel comfortable and focus on big toe, little toe, heel, okay? All the way down and all the way up, and go as low as you feel comfortable, okay? So big toe, little toe, heel, all the way down and all the way up, okay? Does anyone feel, so try keep your feet straight as well. So make sure your feet are facing forward, because what you'll find is as you squat, you'll start to, and the moment your feet start to bow out, we switch off our glutes, okay? We're using our knees instead of our glutes. Whereas if we keep our feet straight, we have to corkscrew our knees, okay? So keep your feet straight, big toe, little toe, heel. Does that feel okay? There's Megan over there doing weighted ones already. Toddler squats. Right. So the next stage, now we've got our big toe, little toe, heel, we're going to bow our knees out, okay? So big toe, little toe. And a lot of people focus on going forward with our knees. We want the knees to go out. So knees out and really pull them apart. I don't want your knees coming in as you get into the bottom. So keep your feet straight, bow your knees out. And what you're going to find is that's going to engage your glutes and allow you to get a little bit lower. So just keep that moving. Nice, Amanda. Good squat. So keep that moving. Watch your feet, Tony. How does that feel with everyone? Good. Yeah? And the third part, okay, we want to keep our head up. So you'll probably find now we've got our feet working, we're bowing our knees out, we're like this, okay? We want to keep our head up. Like obviously body weight, it doesn't matter. If that's your standard now, all I want you to focus on is big toe, little toe, and knees out, okay? That's fine. But when it comes to a goblet and a barbell, we obviously have to keep our chest up, otherwise we're only going to fall forward, okay? So you're going to have your hands on your head, okay, and you're going to try and do the movement again. And you're going to find, yeah, that's it, good. So big toe, little toe, heel. Keep your heels on the floor, Tom. It just takes practice. But bear in mind, we've only done one round of your mobility, a little bit of the loosening off, and then we've gone straight into this. And if you're starting to feel like Louise' knees aching, that's just because we need to do a little bit more of the other stuff. Or you feel it in your back or feel it in your hips. It's not because you're doing, well, it is because you're doing something wrong, but I mean, it's not something that can't be solved. Sometimes you just have to maybe move your knee in a different way, move your hip, or use a wedge, or change the weight. Like there's a amount of times where like I'm in the squat rack and I'm like a superhero, and then after a game I can't even walk, I can't even squat. So you're going to have days where you can't move. You're going to feel it in your knees, and that's where we have to change. So like, you might have a day where you can do a barbell squat, but the next day you have to do a goblet squat. Next day you can only do body weight. Do you know what I mean? But we just have to adapt. But if you keep the foundations the same, which is your mobility and the functional stuff, you'll earn the right to not have to do any of the other stuff. You'll just be able to squat. Do you know what I mean? And that's going to carry over into everything.